Okay, George here from Delusional Design CNC. Today I want to talk about torch dives, what causes them and what you can do to fix them. Um, First thing I want to say, torch height controllers are, for the most part, a dumb terminal. They don't know whether they're an inch off the plate, 2 inches off the plate. Most torch height controllers rely on torch voltage, and they just lock in on a voltage that you tell it to lock on, and then it either raises or lowers the torch to try to bring it to that voltage. That being said, anything that makes the voltage not correspond properly to your height via not being calibrated properly, having something that's raising arc voltage or making arc voltage be inconsistent, is going to cause you to either be cutting too high or cutting too low, or be cutting inconsistent in height. There's a lot of things that go into this. Anything that makes arc voltage higher than it should be is going to cause the torch to dive. The difference between being at the correct height while cutting or hitting the metal is only about 3 volts. That means that 1 volt corresponds to about 20 thousandths of an inch in cut height. So here's the top 4 things that I see that cause torch dives. Number 1, having your work lead coiled up. If you have your work lead coiled up, it is going to try to form an electromagnet, and electricity is going to take the shortest path. Your arc voltage is going to jump around, varying between 10 and 30 volts on the meter, which is instantly going to cause a torch dive. Next one, having an air restriction. Air restrictions can change your arc voltage between 5 and 10 volts, and this will also cause a torch dive and inconsistent heights. Next one, moisture in the air. This will cause your arc voltage to be higher, usually between anywhere from 2 to about 15 volts, depending on the amount of moisture involved. This will also cause torch dives and inconsistent cut heights. Pretty common to see this one show itself first cut of the day if you have a moisture problem, as the air condensates in the air line and gets blown, the water gets blown straight into your consumables right off the bat. If you have a torch dive first thing in the morning, first couple pierces, and then not after that, it's probably a moisture problem. And then the fourth one is issues with your file. If the torch is cutting over an area that's already been cut, the arc voltage is going to go high, and it's going to cause the torch to dive. This is what we are going to talk about today. So here we go. Let me go ahead and just do an operation on this part, and we can look at it here. We can see it's going to start cutting here. It's going to go into this corner. When it goes into this corner, it's fine, but when it comes out of this corner, we can see that the metal is already going to be blown away. So from here to here, the arc voltage is going to be higher, and it's going to cause a torch dive. Then it's going to go around the rest of this part, okay? And when it gets to over here, it's going to hit this corner fine, but when it comes out of this corner from here to here for almost an inch, it's going to try to dive the torch into the metal, okay? If you're just running it like this without doing anything about it, this is operator error, same as those other things that I mentioned. Not taking care of your environment or having your file proper so you can get a good result. These are definitely operator error. And how do we fix this? In SheetCam, we have a thing called action points. So we can go down here and click to add an action point right where it's going to start burning the metal that's already been burnt. So if we do that, there we have that one. Now we can create another action point. So this one we turn the torch height controller off. Now we're going to make another one and have it turn the torch height controller on when it gets done with that area. Then I'm going to come over here, set another one, so we'll turn it off. Then when it gets done with that area, we're going to go ahead and have it turn the torch height controller back on. So now it's going to start cutting here, go down to this corner with the torch height on, turn it torch height controller off from here to here, turn it back on, do the rest of this cut, go into the corner, turn the torch height controller off, then come over here and then turn the torch height controller back on and finish its cut. This is how your file should look. If you're not doing this, chances are you are seeing torch dives in your corners. You can set a path rule to turn the torch height controller off in corners. I don't prefer to do it this way on all of the corners, just for the fact that it's not all corners that are going to cause you a blemish. It's usually really tight ones, and then there's a set distance that you put in when you're doing it with a path rule. So as we can see, this one here, this is only about a ½ inch of overlap. This is about an inch. So for me to be able to get this really tailored to where the torch height comes on right away after, I need to do it with action points instead of path rules. So this is what you would do. You guys let me know what you think of the video. Thanks for watching.